Hello, I'm Tara Brabazon.
And I'm Judy O'Connell.
And we're up to the 8th session. It's 8th. We have done very well. 8th session, and we're still on water, as you can tell. The 8th session of our Judy and Tara Talk Tech. And the 8th session is about the Google effect and the flattening of expertise. Now, Judy, I hold myself responsible for this. I wrote an article about when dinosaurs roamed the earth, about 2008, called the Google effect. And what I was arguing, Jude, was that Google had flattened expertise. So it was just as easy to find a blog as it was a really high quality refereed article. So the great gift of the read-write web is that anybody and everybody who has a view can share it. And that's the great gift. It's also the great problem because, Jude, there are some fools out there. And the Google search engine does not enable the fools to be excluded from the ranking. The problem, I suppose, is I, as an academic, I would like the experts and the expertise to be valued and validated. And the nature of the algorithm with Google is that that isn't always the case. You and I believe in refereeing. We use Google Scholar a great deal. And I worry deeply, actually, that particular professions, like teachers, like librarians, like academics, our expertise is being undermined through the way in which the read-write web has manifested through disintermediation. But you have some strategies, Jude, that we can start to correct this Google effect, don't you?
Actually, I'm going to loop back. I thought of something else. Loop back just a moment, because when it comes to the Google effect, we're talking about Googling having become a verb.
Yeah.
And we all Google. But to what extent do we know our alternative options to Google? This is one area that we as academics need to become experts, and we need to train our teachers in how to become more expert in using the web to find information. On that note, take a look at DuckDuckGo, because we talked about privacy earlier, and it doesn't track your web searching processes. So that's the loop back. But the loop forward takes us to the online access that we were talking about. When it comes to the flattening, we have to take responsibility ourselves for how we share information. So this is actually about a new word that we haven't used, metadata.
Yeah.
We have to ensure that our institutions, when they're uploading materials to the web, actually embed metadata about the product, so that the engines can find our materials and they can be effectively interrogated. Because at the end of the day, our job is to add value to the knowledge base and to use the knowledge base effectively. So two strategies: learn how to use that Google knowledge base, in other words the web, the dark side, the light side, whichever side you want to use, and also use your own resources in an appropriate manner to upload to that world global repository.
Exactly, because I mean it is a challenge. Wikipedia uses metadata incredibly well.
It does.
The reason why it's on the top of just about every search you do is through metadata. Do you want to just tell them what metadata is?
Do that.
Why do I have to do that?
Good at that.
Whenever you have, I mean, in some ways it's meta-tagging. Whenever you have a digital object, there is a tag within it that has particular keywords or ideas within it. So that is what is found. And a lot of digital objects, you go to the content and there's nothing there. So people have left that, they've left it absent. So I think I use a lot of work on the Internet Archive. And you can really beautifully meta-tag that. It takes a little bit of time, but you can meta-tag it and it can be found and it's through search engines. And yet so many people just upload something and they don't fill in the tags. And so you're right, we can complain and grumble about, oh Google, oh some idiot's been, their blog is higher than my quality material, or we can actually assume responsibility for it and say, are you tagging your material correctly? Are you using accurate keywords? We haven't even gone there.
No, we haven't.
Are you using accurate keywords? Are you curating? You use this word beautifully, Jude. Are you curating your data effectively for an audience to find your work?
That's right. You don't want your resources to be like some of the ones that I use in Zotero. Zotero, I can pull in a product, the metadata, it can extract all the information related to that object that I pulled in, that PDF, that research paper that you may have written. But others that have nothing brings me nothing. So am I going to bother with it? Am I going to read it? Am I going to retain it? Yes, of course I am. But I'm going to be really, really annoyed that I have to do the work that you should have done.
Exactly. And the great gift of what I often call born digital objects is that they have this incredible capacity to move. We'll be talking about mobile media shortly. But as these digital objects move, they should move with history, move with heritage, and move with their legacy clearly coming with them. So we see what this is, where it was, where it comes from, and so we can acknowledge these sources and acknowledge the great people that have created it. So that really is a way to create, if you like, a hierarchy in a time of a Google effect. Create that depth of meaning that we need to bring back.
Taking full academic responsibility.
She's good, isn't she? See you in our next gig.
Goodbye.